We continue this afternoon's press conference. We have head coach Pascal Jansen. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We're starting with Roberto.
Hi, Pascal. It's do or die now this time. What changes, if anything, for game three coming into to this game?
Like you said, it's a do or die. This is the one we need to win. And that goes for both teams, obviously, to go into the semis. So we're ready. I think Charlotte will be ready as well. Heated game. So we'll try to be on the right end of it.
There were a lot of similarities between game one and game two, but what were the differences for you in game two compared to game one?
If you look into detail, I think two things. In possession, our accuracy and rhythm in play was not like we want it to be. And they tried a new strategy in their possession, for us out of possession, putting in the balls more direct in behind to get us on the back foot. Didn't create a lot of possibilities from these moments, but it changed the dynamics in the game. And then end of the day, we had two moments where we could have brought the game our way, and that was a big chance during the regular time in the game and the penalty sequence, but we didn't do it, so that's why we have to play game three.
One of the patterns that I was able to see statistically was New York City dominance in the first half of the game, a much more even game in the second half. How is that happening, and how can you address that to continue dominance through the 90 minutes?
Yeah, that's like I said just now. I think it's basically what we do in possession. The accuracy went down. Level of urgency going forward was not as in the beginning of the game, but majority, I would say, our play in possession wasn't in the right rhythm to dominate the game. Like you said, first half away, but also in our home game.
Thank you.
Well,
Coach Mohammed with the Exchange.
Hi.
So Wilfred Zaha didn't play the first game. He played the second game. I didn't see much from him the second game. How do you expect him to play in the third game, and how do you stop him from scoring?
I think a lot of things that we did right as a team, but also Tavon in particular, making sure that we play in and around his area the way we did, making sure that we control and maintain a good structure in and around his position is key in order to keep control. Obviously, them playing at home will have a different dynamics to the game because they have their home crowd and they play on turf where they are a very strong side. We just have to make sure that we focus on the good things that we've shown in game one and the home game during the regular season in New York, but especially in game one when we played on their turf, in order to reach the same level or even better, to make sure that we control the team and Zaha as well.
Hannes didn't play, or he played as a sub both games.
Yeah.
And I feel like he played well when he comes in as a sub. Are you planning to change that at all, or are you still using him as a boost in the second half?
That has to be seen. We have our ideas going into this game. Hannes did well. We're very happy that he's fully available again, because that was the problem going into game number one. And we just have to look at the details today and tomorrow, and then decide who's going to play.
I spoke to Raul earlier, and he mentioned your way of giving your players confidence and motivation. How do you do that, and how do you expect your players to act upon that as well?
Oh, that's interesting. That is something that we established from the first day that we start to work together. Raul is different because he wasn't here from day one, but we know each other from Ferencváros in Budapest. So he knows the way I approach my team, I approach my players. Confidence is one, but you have to earn your confidence also. And I'm a coach. I would like to focus on the things that players can do good, and also makes them feel good, but always in benefit of the rest of the team. So combination of those things is part of my approach, and hopefully it will feel that like what Raul told you, with a lot of confidence.
Thanks.
On to the Zoom, we'll go with Shane.
Hi, Coach Shane from AM New York.
Hi, Shay.
What is the mood like in camp after Saturday? I imagine it's a kind of unusual position to be in, that you're level in the tie after, not losing a game in normal time. I guess in pretty much any other format in world football, you would have won 1-0 on aggregate. So is there how do you pick yourselves up after, a crushing defeat like a penalty shootout?
Yeah, it's a good description of how things are organized in the US. It's something that we have to deal with. To be honest, I got a few phone calls and a few text messages asking why we were not in the semis yet. I had to explain the format to those people, and then they understood. That's what it is, and that's what we have to deal with. And the rules of going through to the semis were very clear going into this tournament. So. There's one more game to go. Of course, it was unsatisfying coming out of game number 2 in New York because we were hoping to get the job done. But credits to Charlotte for winning the penalty sequence, and now we have to go back to their house and try and finish the job there.
Just
Christian?
was mood in the camp down after Saturday, or did the players come in, ready to pick it up again straight away?
No, the mood, of course, was a little different because we had fought to get to the semis. We had a couple of moments during the game, and especially in the penalty sequence, the momentum was in our direction. But unfortunately, things changed, and Charlotte got the better of us in the penalty sequence. So everybody was a little down coming back into the dressing room, but that mood quickly changed into getting the focus right into game number 3.
Christian Arnold?
Coach Christian Arnold with the New York Post.
Hi.
How's it going, Coach? I was curious after that game, kind of what Shane was asking about, the sort of gut-wrenching way that the loss happened, and especially for some of the guys who missed those penalty kicks. There did seem to be a real importance from the veterans on the team to kind of go out and make sure they were okay, and help them get to that mindset. I'm curious, has that been something you've always kind of preached during the course of the season, to make sure that those older veteran guys, more experienced guys, took some of the younger guys under their wing and made sure they were okay in some of those bigger moments? And how important and how much more important is that in a series like this, where you now have to go back in a do or die game and have to have those guys play an important role and push that bad memory out of their minds?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Of course, I know who you refer to as being the veterans. In our dressing room, they're not the veterans. There are the players with a little more baggage or luggage, if you will, in their careers. So they've played more games and have more experience than a lot of other guys in the dressing room. But the shared responsibility has been addressed from day one. So looking back at the penalty sequence, you could see the guys taking their responsibility and making sure they're there for each and every player. Like I mentioned in the press conference after the game, it's stepping up. And when you're 20, 21 years old, and you step up to take this important penalty, there's always a possibility that you can miss it. But then your team has to be there in order to pick you up, get you ready for the rest of the week, and prepare for game number 3. And that's what we did.
How have you seen those guys respond the past couple days in training?
Very interesting. Also based on our principles that we have been enforcing from day number 1. It's the 24-hour rule, which I've introduced in our dressing room. We didn't make it after game number 2. We had to prepare for game number 3. So they had 24 hours to deal with their emotions. And then we picked up with our training sessions again, making sure that we have a good view, a review from game number 2, and try to do better in game number 3, because that is the game, what it's all about. And we have to make sure that we're ready to play that game again.
Back in the room, Roberto?
One last one for you, Pascal. What does it mean to have been able to win in Charlotte in game 1, considering that before that the team was 0 for 4?
Yeah. Obviously, it gives us a lot of confidence, but no arrogance, because it's a very strong team, Charlotte. They're a team that's hard to beat, and especially at home. I remember somebody telling me going into game number 1, there was like 32% or 30% chance that we would win that game. We beat the odds. We won there. If you look at all the 4 games that we've played so far, 3 clean sheets. a 2-0 loss in Charlotte, which was a game first half. We were quite dominant as well in their stadium. So those are ingredients that give us a lot of confidence going into this game that it's possible, and now we have to make it happen.
Thank you. Back to the Zoom, Michael Allen.
Yeah, Coach Michael Allen from Pro Soccer and Blue City Radio. You've played, you mentioned the format before. You've played the team twice now, back to back. Down in Charlotte and New York, you were only able to score 1 goal in open play, and that was a pretty individual moment of brilliance from Alonso there. How do you get this team to be more clinical and to score more goals and to open up the Charlotte back line like that?
Yeah, that's the interesting part. That's what I mentioned to Roberto in the beginning of the press conference. The quality for us in possession has to be at a higher level, higher standard, which my boys are perfectly capable of doing. But in order to beat a team like Charlotte, which is a very good team, well organized, you have to be very, very clinical on the ball, and you have to make sure that the moments that you get in order to open up the game is that you put those moments away. We've seen these moments when we played during the regular season against Charlotte. We've seen them in game number 1 in the playoffs, and we've seen them in game number 2 as well. And those moments are so important for any team to open up a game like Charlotte, against Charlotte, because we're very, very compatible with each other. It's very close. The margins are very small, so those moments are crucial going into the final game now.
Is there a way to focus on that this week in practice, knowing what you know after the past 2 games?
There's a few things that we've addressed in our review that are very clear to us to make sure that we create bigger moments and better moments in possession. So we're fully aware of what we need to do better going into game number 3.
Thanks so much.
Christian Henich.
Hi, Coach. We've talked about it previously. There'll be a hostile environment, I imagine, on Friday, but you'll have some fans in attendance. What do those traveling fans do for the group and just boosting morale in general?
Yeah, it's a good thing. During game number 1, they were also there for us. Obviously, we're very happy with people traveling to come and see us, and especially in this game, in a big stadium like it is in Charlotte, we'll need all the support that we can get. So we'll try to do as best as we can going into this game, and hopefully we can make our fans that have traveled with us, but also back home, very proud from this game.
Great. Thank you, everybody.